I want to be like one of the best and like biggest artists like of all time, like period. Like I want to be remembered like, as that and one of the most impactful artists of all time.
All right, welcome to Willing to Fail. I'm your host, Peyton Bennett, as usual. And today we got a very special guest. He is a musical artist with his hit song Devil's Kiss that went super viral about a year ago thanks to Travis Scott. It's got over 5 million streams right now. This guy is also one of my favorite up-and-coming artists right now. Goes by the name JaeyBxrd. How's it going?
What's good, Peyton? How you doing, man?
Good. Appreciate you taking the time to come on here.
Thank you for having me.
All
The
right,
pleasure's all mine. The pleasure's all.
So yeah, I personally discovered you when that clip went viral with you, Travis Scott, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm more curious of kind of your backstory, like where you're from, what got you into music to begin with. I know a lot of artists, they get a lot of talent or inspiration from their parents or their upbringing. So where are you from? What's your upbringing like, and what are your parents like?
Okay, so I'm originally from Riverside, California. Like that's where I grew up. But so there were a lot of like I had a lot of health complications, like growing up. So and there was also like a lot of gang violence in the neighborhood that like I was in. So my father wanted to move to his hometown. My mom is originally from LA. And that's where he met her, but he's from North Carolina. So rural ass, prairies and you feel me, like tractors. So he's from there. He met her there, but yeah, there was a lot of like gang violence in that area, and then I was also like, yeah, like I got like really, really sick, and I had like asthma. So like with those two working in tandem, I got like hospitalized really bad. And the doctors were like, yo, it got to a point where they was like, yo, like pull the plug, like that nigga out of here. You feel me? And so like I don't remember like a lot of that shit. Like I just go based off of like what I'm told, because like after all of that, like my memory was completely wiped. Like I really like lost all like any sense of like any rudimentary like like skills, like like counting and all that shit. Um so yeah, we ended up moving. I
So
was
how
like,
old were
yo,
you
like
then?
I was like fucking 10 or 11 when we moved. Yeah, like 10 or 11. No, probably, yeah, like somewhere around there, like somewhere between 10 and 12 type shit. We moved to North Carolina, and it was a really strange transition for me because the people there were just like really cliquish, and I felt kind of like an outcast. I didn't really fit in with anybody there. So it was just like, yeah, it was really weird, and rocky. And I feel like that was kind of like, the catalyst to like, like my creative spark. Just kind of like all of those, that just kind of like, like helped, put me in the right headspace to start, like creating, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just a lot of like, weird dynamics out there. Like, with the people, I just didn't get along with the motherfuckers out there. Um, so yeah,
So how long were you in the
that's where it
hospital?
started. Probably like thing is I don't remember. Probably like it was some time though, maybe like a week and a half type shit. If just all spitballing off the top of my head, I figured, it was a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I bet all that stuff's super scary, and I can see how that, and then that kind of like being in that new environment gets you to be more like to yourself and more creative. Um,
Okay.
is anybody in your family musically gifted at all, or where do you think you got that from?
So my sister, one of my sisters, rest in peace, she was the only one that I could say that like she used to sing a lot, like she used to like just be singing, but like no one else is really musically inclined at all, like no one like even really tried their hand at that, like. And honestly they gave me so much pushback, like starting out, like trying to like create, which I mean understandably so, like I can like I can respect how they feel about it, how they felt about it at the time, but at the same time it's just like, yo, the way I saw it was like, I just gotta do me, like, unapologetically, like just do what's me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that's why I'm a fan of your music, is because your music is so unique and so just you. Um, so when did you start like putting yourself out there or start making music? Was it as a little kid just at your house, or was it not till you were older?
Okay, I started rapping like around like 15, 16. But I started well, um I was always like, like super like into music. I was like, yo, a super like big Michael Jackson fan, like when I was like super young, and I used to like, like fuck around, but like I didn't start like actually like, rapping kind of like to like 15, 16, and then I didn't start recording actual music until I was 17. I recorded my first song, um, yeah, in 2017, hence the name like 2017, one of my songs. So yeah.
Okay. So what was, I know for a lot of people, like whether it's music or podcasts or really anything, like the fear of putting yourself out there and getting that rejection can like keep people from doing it. Do you feel like you had that at all, or was it you were already kind of like felt like alienated and isolated when you moved to North Carolina, that didn't affect you as much?
Man, that's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. Um, fuck. Oh wow. I don't think that had a super big impact on me, because like, yeah, I was already kind of like under the impression that I was like, already like, I'm already weird, like, like, you feel me, like I'm already kind of like there. So it's like, yo, what difference is it gonna make, like, me, like, creating? I was like, yo, what the fuck, like, what are they gonna say, like, realistically, like, yo, like, fuck them, I was already kind of in that headspace, so I'm like, okay, you know but
Gotcha.
that developed over time, like, with maturity, because it didn't start out like that. I was super like soft and like green and like unassuming, like, with everything, to the point where it's just like, yo, I thought everything was like sunshine and rainbows until it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I really like found out that, like, motherfuckers be moving weird and shit. So I really had to kind of develop that, barrier, like, and that sense of self concept, to where it's like, okay, like, yeah, I gotta maneuver in a certain way, or like, you get chewed up and spit out, like, you know what I'm saying?
What was the initial reaction from like the people you knew, like friends and stuff, when you first put music out there?
Um, I had a pretty good, like, like, support system, as far as like, my friends was concerned. Like, they was on board. I mean, honestly, like, with the first time I recorded my first song, it was ass. Like, or actually, no, no, all that music was ass anyways. Like, yo, in hindsight, but like, when I first like laid it down like unprofessionally, it was so bad. It was like, ah, shit. So so niggas were clowning, man. It was like, bro, that shit is ass. I was like, yo. So I'd found a producer that was at my high school, and then we locked in and we started fucking around, and like, cause he made beats, and he also like, would record me in his closet. So I just, I found him, we started working, and that was early. That was very early on.
Yeah, I mean, I think most music or really any form of art that people put out first is usually not very good. I think that's just the norm, and people got to kind of expect that.
Yeah.
So when you started, were you making, like before you were working with that producer, were you making your own beats, or you just finding them on YouTube?
YouTube. Definitely YouTube.
Okay, what were you usually, what
I
kind of
was a
genre were you
YouTube demon.
searching up?
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was just like, back then, I think I was hopping on like Lil Skies type beats, and like Lil Skies type beats, and damn, uh I don't even remember. Like Lil Skies, I don't know, just random shit, Gunna type beats. I was like, whatever.
I mean, a lot of your songs that I like now have like these guitar loops in it. Do you ever mess around with the guitar yourself, or is that what your producer does, or you just find those beats too?
I play. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, like I'm some yo, like guitar guru. Like I'm not going crazy. I'm not shredding shit, But like I made, I made some loops for myself here and there. I feel like, I'm adequate, I'm somewhat decent. I'm better on the guitar than I am on the piano right now. I'm still trying to like, get my, my footing in the piano a little bit.
Okay, so what's kind of the order that you went into music? Is it rapping first and then guitar and then piano, or what order did that go?
Yeah, I started rapping first. It was definitely, yeah, like I just straight out the gate, I just started rapping. And I sucked, but like, it was cool. Like actually I started freestyling on the bus because I was a hooper. I played basketball. Um and so we would be on the bus, and that's kind of like how it started. Like we like 15 just on the bus, just like yo, like rap battling, like yo, just
Just normal
yeah,
kid shit.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
pretty
so
much.
you rapping on the bus, then you put out like a song, your friends tell you it's ass, then you work with a producer. At what point at what point do you get to the where you feel like the music is actually good and you actually like see potential in yourself and start taking it seriously?
Okay. So okay, so it got to a point, right? So this was around like 2019. So I kind of like veered off into a new direction. Like I joined a kind of like a rap collective. Like it was a group of like, other buzzing acts in the North Carolina area. And so like, we were kind of just like, yeah, it was a collective, right? Like, of some other relatively locally known names, like, in that area, right? We joined together, and so we were making some stuff for a little while. I say around 2018, 2019. So like I was kind of like I was at a strange place, like, like with everything. I like dropped out of college and I picked up this warehouse job, and I was working like excuse me. I was working this warehouse job. I was working like 70 hours a week, like yeah, like 60, 70 hours a week plus. And so what I was doing was like I was getting those checks, and I was putting like all of that money like into music. And I'd gotten to a point where like I got super frustrated, right? Because I was like, man, like, I'm not finding any emotion. I'm like, yo, like I was like, yo, like God, give me a sign, like, let me know, like, yo, am I doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying? And I was really frustrated. I was at a loss. I was like, fuck, like, bruh. I was so frustrated. I remember I was in my car that night, my little Nissan Altima, like out the front of my house, and I was just like, I was fucked up. And then so I had like maybe like $77 in my bank account. And so I don't know if do you know who Patrick CC is? Well,
Yeah.
he's a YouTuber, and he used to do like some popular streams back in like 2020 where he would review music. So I was like, I put my last $70 up. Um, I had like $7 left after that. So I put my last $70 up like to his stream as a last ditch effort. I was like, all right, for a song that I had at the time, and then the whole stream started going crazy. And then Promoting Sounds hit me up after that and all that. I was like, yo, 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 what? And so that was the first type of like, yo, because that song ended up doing being my first song. It had 1 million streams and then 2 million, and yeah. So I was like, oh wow, like that's cool. And then I'd gotten a manager. I'd gone to like, LA for the first time since I was young, again, like, off of that. But, again, in hindsight, the song is ass. Actually, let me not say that. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. But,
What song
yeah,
is it?
it's called Lose Again.
I think I've heard that one.
Yeah. So, have you?
Huh?
That's crazy. Have you? You've heard it?
I think so. I went through all your music a while back when I first talked to you. But all right, so then you go, yeah, I mean, that's a common theme of like, I feel like most artists, entrepreneurs, like it's kind of all in the same boat where they like they have this firm belief in themselves, and then they go on and on and on, and there's no reassurance, and there's no like, it's not like you're working a corporate job where you're like, oh, if you do this, you get here, you do this, you get here. It's kind of like, I don't know. So it's really hard to lose faith. And I think a lot of times your stories are similar to a lot of people where like you feel like you get to that breaking point and then something finally clicks and you get a little bit of momentum and then it keeps going. So
Yeah.
so just for you're getting your music out, it's such like an interesting time. So like I feel like in 2017, 2018, 2019 was like kind of a sweet spot to go viral where like you could get a lot of attention. And now coming to 2024, I feel like it's so tough to like, maybe you can get viral, but to get those people to kind of stick and see you again, the way the algorithms are on the social media. So in your personal experience, what is you seeing that's shifted in that game of social media from 7 years ago to now?
Bro, I feel like I try to view it from like, a positive scope, like, any way that I can. But yeah, it's definitely like, very tough. It's difficult, considering like, everything is unbelievably saturated. And it's also like, you're fighting algorithms and you're fighting like, other people who are really trying to do like, some of the same stuff. And even if your stuff is I mean, I guess for lack of a better word, like, like really good comparatively, um, it's just like, it's difficult to cut through unless you're doing something that'll make you stand out. And I feel like, like in my case, um, I'm willing to do like, whatever it is to get to that point, like, to like fulfill my vision, you know? So I guess right now it really just takes that like, like pure grit and like determination, honestly, like as corny as that sounds, like, like if you really want it, then you gotta like kind of like just put your head down and just like, like keep going. And it gets hard for sure. Like, but I don't know, like, I definitely don't have all the answers, but like, you just keep going, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, at the end of the day, it's definitely a numbers game. And like, you gotta, I feel like you have a good, like, you're talented, you're unique enough to like break through. But like you said, kind of like fighting the algorithm and like doing it over and over again, it's like really tough. Cause I feel like nowadays, especially like on TikTok, like, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, like 90% of your videos aren't going to be shown to anybody. um,
Mhm.
So I really respect your grind because it's like the way that a lot of your popular videos is like you just going out on the streets and running around or trying to just find people, and who knows how long and how many clips you actually have to do for one or two of them to be decent. So where did you get that original
Exactly.
idea, like running around the street and like tricking people into listening to your music?
So that whole thing kind of started with and I'll give all the credit to my cameraman for that. But well, honestly, yeah, like we kind of just found like, the interviews, like, the park interviews with people like, oh, like, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The interviews. So we kind of took that and we spun it for music. We were just like, oh, like, what do you think about this? But like honestly, like the way I view it is like, it's kind of just like handing out mixtapes. Like it's the modern day of handing out
Yep.
mixtapes on the street. Like, like bump my hottest mixtape, like my new hot mixtape, man. Like, but yeah, that's kind of like how I view it, and that's kind of like just what it became. So and then the opportunities like, the Travis Scott and like Aiden Ross, etc. Like, those just kind of like those just be kind of like popping up here and there. Like I'll get the tip off like, oh, so and so is gonna be here at this time, and then I'll go and I'll do what I gotta do to try to like, um, I'll wait out there like for however many hours I need to or whatever the fuck to get that, that opportunity. Um, yeah, I feel like, yeah, you just gotta be hungry.
Yeah. All right. So for the Travis Scott one, that's obviously the one that worked out the best for you. Um, you just knew that he was in a certain area. And you just kind of camped. What is it? Was this studio that you were outside of?
It was out outside of Manhattan Beach Studios. So my manager was actually working engineering a session right across from where he had where Travis Scott had a session, and he called my phone while I was trying to make myself something to eat. I had a couple glizzies in the microwave, and I was about to put that together. And so he hit me, and while I'm in the midst of doing that, he was just like, "Yo, pull up like right now." Like he was like, "Yo, Travis Scott is here. Like I need you and sis to pull up to this location right now, bro. Like yo." And I'm like, "Okay, yo." So I ate my shit right quick, and fucking yeah, went straight there, hopped on the next train. And then we waited out there for like 4 or 5 hours until he finally came out and ducking the security because the security was on dick, like for real.
I mean, the video itself is just awesome all the way through. What other stuff happened like off screen of the video that was crazy, like getting to that point? Nothing,
Nothing.
just waiting.
Oh, you're saying up to that point?
Yeah.
Before I mean nothing crazy. It's just the security just being weird. He's like, I better not find out y'all waiting for somebody out. Like, bro, like, yo, who are you? Who the fuck are you, bro? And we just had to keep playing it off. We're like, nah. We're waiting on somebody, you know? We're waiting on somebody, or we're waiting on an engineer. We're about to go up, like type shit. And we just bullshitting them, like we just waffling at that point.
That's funny.
So
So that song was it no question that that was gonna be the song? Devil's Kiss was the one you were gonna show him. You felt like that was your best at that time.
yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing is, yeah, for sure. Yeah, just yeah, no question.
Okay. So I've talked to a couple of musical artists, and I mean, I'm always jealous of those moments. Like, I feel like as a musician, like as a fan, we see like obviously the final product of the music. We see you on shows and tour, but I feel like the best part of making music, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like it's that magic that happens in the studio when you finally like the beat hits and the lyrics hit or something hits and you feel that euphoria. What was there a moment like that for Devil's Kiss, or was there a moment like that in your career that stands out where it was like a great studio moment?
Yeah, I feel like it feels yeah, like you said, it feels so good when you do have one. It's just like yo, when you feel that rhythm, and then you kind of just like yo, like you let the music take you, and you kind of just let the lyrics flow, and it doesn't feel forced. You know, like I take my time with my records, but it always feels so much better when the lyrics just kind of flow smoothly and you're able to tell a story. Like I love just telling stories, like a cohesive story. Um like with 2017 and Devil's Kiss, and Cut Me Open. Um like I'm telling a story, you know? I love that. That's where the magic is for me. For some songs that I just made recently that over the past like 1 to 2 weeks, even out in Miami. I made some songs in Miami. It's just like, yo, a couple of those records, it just flowed, you know? And it just man, it just feels good, you know?
Yeah. With Devil's Kiss, when you made that one, did you feel like that one was at the time of making it was better than your other songs?
Yeah, I felt some magic. I felt some magic with 2017 and Devil's Kiss for sure. And I was like, yo, it's just an inkling. I was like, yeah, like these are gonna be special for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you do a great job of like the melodic sounds tied in with the lyrics. So, what's your process of writing? I know some rappers they'll like just kind of mumble to the beat and fit the lyrics in later. Some artists will make the lyrics and try to fit the lyrics into the beat. Like, what's your strategy?
It really just depends. If I'm most of the time, I will get I'll get like, you know, the beat from my producer, and then I'll kind of like just duck off and like yo, like on some strange shit, just kind of like yo, be in a dark room like by myself and just kind of like yo, like close my eyes and vibe out, just like yo, and just like start, you know, putting the pen to paper, like not literally pen to paper, but like my fingers to my keyboard. You feel me? Um, and just you know start writing. But sometimes like yo, it just depends. Like if I'm in a session, like you know with you know some new people and stuff like that, they want me to lay down a reference. I'll just kind of like I'll do what you said. I'll mumble and then like, lay down whatever, and then I'll have all of my melodies down on the track, and then I will write to those melodies. That's what I did also last night. No, the night before. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have a bunch of, I guess, random questions, but for years, I mean, being in a creative space, right? What I know the balance of like working and like being in routine and a schedule doesn't really always fit with musicians, like because that creativity kind of comes and goes. So do you do any type of like rituals that get yourself in a creative space, or do you have like any habits or routine that help that, or you just kind of wait for it to come to you?
I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't have any like rituals or anything. It just kind of happens. Like if I get like even if I'm not inspired by something though, like I try to I try to still like, get records, but like, in a lot of cases, those records don't come out nearly as good or nearly as like, special. Like they're just songs. And you kind of just have to have those songs. Like you gotta make those songs. I think somebody said this. What was it, Taylor Swift? I don't know. You gotta make those songs to get to the special songs. Like you feel me? Like you can't really just skip that. Like it's just you're gonna have those mid ass songs like in between for sure.
Makes sense. So for the songs at least that are my favorite from you, it seems like they are kind of like a similar genre. They have like this like guitar loop, and then you kind of like rapping over it or doing this melodic singing. What would you consider that genre, and what inspired that kind of that sound, you think?
Which songs in particular?
So like Devil's Kiss, Lady's Luck, like Amend, those songs all have like this kind of like this guitar loop, it sounds like. And it's I wouldn't say it's country. It has like almost like a country sound to it at the beginning, but then it's like way
Yeah,
different. And that's why I like your music. It's because it just seems like a different vibe than most people.
yeah. What genre? I don't know, honestly. Like, I just like to genre bend a lot because, like, I know you haven't. There's a lot of stuff like different styles that you haven't heard from me. Like, I be scream rapping. Like, it's just like yo, I be doing a lot of shit, but I just like the genre bend a lot. And really, I make Afro songs. Like, yo, like I like to I don't like to stagnate or like, stay in like, one spot. I like to just like, create freely and because that's the like fun, like that's the enjoyment, like, in music. It's not just making the same shit over and over and over again. That shit is it's so lame.
Yeah. So where are you on right now and like talking to your manager on the strategy of releasing singles versus albums?
Right now, we're definitely in the singles game. And that's abundantly clear because I'm not in the position right now. I don't have the base or like the support system to actually put out a full length body of work. Cause yeah, I feel like yo, like the majority of those records would just kind of fall on deaf ears and respectfully, like I don't think that anyone would care enough for me to release a full length project right now. Like there no one I don't think anyone really like cares enough about me to listen to a full length project. So I mean, I just gotta kind of like make people care or make people feel like yo, like I'm someone of importance to want
Yeah.
to listen.
Yeah. I mean, as an outsider, as a fan, it seems like an album for like an artist like you would be great for your already fans, but it doesn't seem like it would do a lot to get you new fans like a single could. Well,
Exactly.
and then where do you guys like, where's your view on like full length music videos now? Do you feel like those still have a place, or do you feel like just the short form content is the way to go?
Uh, Short form content. Fucking TikTok is a plague, bro. Um, I swear, bro. I fucking yo. Don't even get me started. I mean, I feel like I would love for um I would love for full length music videos to still have a place. I'm just not sure that they're the priority right now, like in today's market. Because just honestly, like yo, putting them out, like they just don't like, well, at least in my case right now where I'm currently they just don't, perform, that incredibly well,
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I
so
watched a full music video. It seems like those long form videos have a way harder time of getting organic reach than just like a short clip of it.
yeah, exactly.
And then are you still independent right now?
Yes.
Okay. So that's another thing I'm always curious about. Cause like I said, when you first were getting in, like putting your music out there in 2017, 2018, I feel like that was a sweet spot for independent artists. Like there was, at that point, is like no need to get a label. Why would you do that? And then I feel like now we're going back to a cycle of, it's like, because it's so saturated in like this like false perception that you can get your music out there for like organically, seems to kind of be like, wait, is that really true? Or do I really need to have like somebody who knows somebody to plug my songs in all these different places to really get it out there? So where are you at on like the labels? Do you have those meetings, or what does your team think about that?
Um, so right now, um, fuck. This is the way I view it, right? I feel like you can get to a certain point, like as an entirely independent artist. Right now, I have like, yo, I'm signed to like an indie label. Like it's not like, that's why I said like, yo, I'm still technically like, yo, like independent. Like it's a short, like, type deal. And it's an indie label. Like it's not a major label. So like, yeah, it's still like, but um I still like have a team, like, around me that, like helps support with resources. Um but this is the way I view it. Like you get to a certain point, right? Like as entirely independent. But then like if you want to actually break through, like cut through, then yeah, you need the resources of a label. Um in my opinion, depending on how far you want to go. Like if someone who wants to be like myself, right? Like a number one artist, or like, yo, at the top of the industry, right? Then you're gonna need some of those resources. Like they have like, solid resources that you'd have at your disposal. Like if you join forces with them. So I feel like, that's important at a certain point, but it's also like extremely dangerous to try to like, get into that system too early. You can really shoot yourself in the foot, you know? Or waiting too late, like, missing your window. It's really all about timing. Um, with all of that shit. But I mean, honestly, right now we're just kind of like we're playing it, and we're taking it slow. Um, well, not necessarily slow. We're doing the things that, like, we can to get ourselves to that level in that position, like, organically. So that when the labels do, like, start coming and, offering, we're in the best position possible, and we have leverage and we have control over the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, it's huge because you still want to be able to own everything and have a strong fan base that you built yourself.
Mhm.
I don't know why that video does that. So for you, you kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't know why this thumbs down thing is there, but
I don't see it. I don't
it's
see
it's
it. Oh,
it's because
that's
your thumb.
okay. Oh no, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of things
yeah.
these new video like the iPhones do. But anyways, so you kind of touched on it a little bit of kind of your goal to be like at the top of the billboard. Like what drives you the most right now, and what is your like ambitions for the future?
Okay. That's yeah, that's a cool question. So my vision for myself as an artist, like I feel like there's a lot of like I feel like world is in a weird place right now. Don't call me corny or like, yo, like crazy for this, but like I feel like, yeah, like I would like to have a lasting, like, like positive impact on like just like people in general, like, and just kind of like maybe give hope, like, with like, certain things. That's why, like, in my music, I like to talk about like real shit, like, or what I consider to be like real shit, like just like real life shit, like your experiences and like, what's going on, and like I like to tell my stories and kind of like give like pieces of wisdom of things that like I kind of like learned like through shit. um but yeah, like I kind of just want to like speak to people on like a spiritual, like an emotional level, like not just with the music, but like with my person, and like let people understand like certain things. um like honestly, I feel like with relationships, like relationships, like in our generation is just kind of like like weird. I feel like there's a lot of s- people are celebrating like like being like like unfaithful, saying like like I don't know, like like yeah, like type shit. I know you probably like see shit like or like motherfuckers be like, oh yeah, like like cheating, like and they're like celebrating that shit, like and like celebrating like oh, there's also like a whole bunch of like men versus women type thing, like where motherfuckers be like, oh, like yeah, bitches ain't shit, but like bitches be like, oh, niggas ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? Like whole lot of like yeah, like red pill shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole lot of shit. I feel like it's a weird dynamic, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm not saying that I want to be kind of like the mediator, but like I do kind of like want to be like there, and then niggas be like, oh, like he's kind of a cool guy. Let me see, like not I don't want people to like try to like copy me or like be on my swag, but like kind of like form their own swag like around like some different ideals, like some solid ideals, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I tiptoed around that a lot, but I don't know. I try to tell it in the best way I could.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, dude, your songs already have millions of streams. I feel like you've already accomplished a lot of that. Maybe not for the grand scheme that you want, but I mean, there's definitely a large group of people that have already probably felt that from your music.
Mhm.
Is there like, I mean, seems like what's most important to you is like just reaching into those fans and giving that kind of message. Is there anything like big picture, like financially or like legacy wise that you're striving for?
Yeah, legacy wise, I definitely want to be like I want to be one of the best and like biggest artists like of all time, like period. Like I want to be remembered like as that, and one of the most impactful artists of all time. Because I really like in addition to what I was just saying, I really just want to like inspire people to just be themselves. I feel like that's my most important thing. Like it's just kind of like, because I feel like a lot of people, including myself when I was young, I really tried to like fit in and conform to my environment, and like adapt to the people around me, when in actuality like over time I realized I'm like um like why am I trying to be them? Like if I'm that motherfucker, then who's gonna be me, you know? So it's just like just kind of like do you. And if the thing is, if you're doing you unapologetically, people will flock to that anyways. Like even the motherfuckers that be hating on it, like if you stick to your guns and you keep doing you, like niggas just some niggas are just gonna be slighted by that. Like niggas like don't feel right in their spirit because they like, oh shit, that nigga don't give a fuck. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think you do a good job of like being unique and being yourself and getting your message out to your fans. Is there anything you want your fans to know that is too corny to put in your music?
Um that's an interesting question. Too corny. Um
Or any message you give your fans
Something
that
in part
you can't find a fit in the song?
I don't know, safe sex.
That's a good answer, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's like a good message to give out that would be kind of weird to hear in a song. But I mean, I don't know, dude. It's not too late. You can slide that in there somewhere. I mean,
Wear a
Lil Wayne did
condom,
it pretty
kids.
well.
Dead ass.
You with the
I
safe
feel
sex.
like
Great sex is safe sex. Better wear a latex because you don't want that latex.
ah For sure, for sure, for sure. I damn, I don't know, like, I don't know if I could push that sentiment, like, too much, because I don't know that I don't know that I apply it all the time and in the right
Yeah,
right
man,
time
you
and
want to be
space. I was
authentic, you
actually
know?
in a relationship. Yeah, exactly, for sure. I was in a relationship for a break though anyway, so it's like, yo, I didn't have to. But I mean, I, I don't know, it'd be hard, man. It'd be hard. It'd be hard. It'd be like, like, I don't know.
I feel you, man. Well, that was pretty much most of the questions I have. I think what most, I guess, that my audience, that every audience is most curious about is like what the money is behind like musical artists. Because I know, obviously, when you're really big and you have a huge team, like you get a lot of streams, you make more money, but that gets cut up a lot more. For you, you're somewhat independent. I mean, you get like, for example, like on a song that gets 5 million streams, what kind of like does that revenue like ballpark look like, if you don't mind sharing? And then two, like how many people does that have to get split up amongst?
Um, fuck. Damn. There was a point in time, right, prior to prior to like distribution deals and stuff like that. There was a point in time where I was making like seven, wait, no, like, well, 6 to 8 bands a month, um, off my discography. So it wasn't just Devil's Kiss, but like, you know, just my discography as a whole. I was making like, yo, like between 6 and 8. So it's not bad. Like, yeah, like you know, it was a lot more money than I'd made like anywhere else doing anything else.
Yeah, I mean
Like, you know,
that's good money for sure. What is your biggest expense? Like your manager, studio time?
my biggest expense right now, so my manager takes 20%, but he wears a lot of hats. Like, he's my manager and he's also my engineer, like my mixing and mastering engineer, and he's also um my tenant, like my the dude that I live in his basement. So it's just like, yo, like, so he wears a lot of hats. But my biggest expense, I mean, other than that, like, yo, I don't really have I can't really complain too much, like, on that front. I mean, fashion wise, I have a partnership with this company that sends me clothes. They sent me like two bands worth of like just great quality, like very nice clothes. Like, I
That's
love their
sick.
clothes. And yeah, I actually gotta probably like they hit me yesterday. I gotta hit them back. But yeah, like them, I mean, I'd say when I got my first, like, little advance, like, nothing crazy. Um I I bought a couple things, for myself and well, my girlfriend at the time. Um I got a little Montclair coat, Montclair Rick Owens, and some cool shit. Yeah, that I just wanted. I was like, yeah, like, I deserve this. I deserve
Yeah,
this.
I mean, dude, that's super exciting that just in general be able to like make money and a living off a passion like that. And then obviously the upside of where that can go is what makes it, I think, even more fun. Um,
For sure.
and then last like question, business side, like where do you guys what do you guys how do you guys view like live shows and touring from a business standpoint? Is that worth it to like go out and get the fans, or does that bring in good money, or not at all?
I mean, as of right now, at this current stage, it doesn't bring in like, too much. My biggest set that I've done was in Austin, Texas, opening up for Group Love. It was like um it was at Stubbs. I don't know if it's a 3,000 cap venue. I'm not sure, but there were like I think upwards of like maybe like 2,000, there for my set. Maybe a little less, maybe a little shorter. But yeah, like that was a surreal experience. That was so cool. Um But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what do you think? What's been your favorite moment of your music career so far? Like doing that, or like the Travis Scott thing, or what has it been for you?
I don't know if I can even say I've had. Man, that's a good question. Wow. Fuck.
I know it's probably hard to pick one, but just like top moments.
I'll say top three. Top three. Hmm. Top three. It's definitely Stubbs Austin. That was so cool. So yeah, performing there in Austin. Um, I'll say Travis Scott for sure. That was cool. Just solely based off of like the amount of motion that like, it brought to be like, you know, at that time. That was fucking cool. Um, and maybe the making of like one of my records like 2017 or Devil's Kiss or Cut Me Open, like yo, just like kind of like the process, like just making great music, you know. I
Yeah, I
can't
bet.
really like track that to one particular one, but like,
Yeah. Okay, sorry. You reminded me of a question I wanted to ask earlier. So you go to Travis Scott, you get his thumbs of approval. You go to Aiden Ross, he likes your music. Was there any times that you showed your music to like somebody or like a celebrity, and they're like, "Dude, this shit's whack," and then you just don't post it?
not a celebrity, but nah, like yeah, we I actually did a compilation of like rejections. Well, my camera guy did. He did a compilation of rejections of like people being like, "Oh, he's just like, yeah." But I get those like like I wouldn't say often. They're definitely less common than like, a positive reaction. But like what's it called? Oh yeah, I do remember this one guy. There's this one TikTok guy like, and he was fake because he's like, yeah, da 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 da. And then he went and made a video, and he was calling it ass. And then I was like, okay, like that was so weird. But yeah.
That's fine. All right, well, that was pretty much all the questions I had for you. I appreciate you coming on. Was there any other last things you want to say, or anything promote, or where can the people find you, or what you got coming up?
Um. hmm, hmm. I mean, new music soon. Um. Been working on a lot of like, different like, new styles. Um. Quick question. Do you know the Monkey Man?
No,
You know? Are you 100% positive? Are you sure you don't know the Monkey Man?
the Monkey Man.
The monkey.
No, is this a joke? What is this?
You said what?
No, I said, is this a joke?
You're looking at him.
Why do you say that?
I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay.
All right, Peyton.
All right, fair enough. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate you coming on, JaeyBxrd. All right, that's a show.